Welcome in everybody to another episode of ZB's Horsepower Talk. As always, I'm ZB Zach Brown, and joined with me as always is former 410 sprint car crew chief and mechanic, my dad Jeff Brown. Before we start anything, make sure you guys like, subscribe, share anywhere you get your podcasts, all social media platforms. Big one to talk about right now, Southern 500. Sort of an upset, but not really an upset because it's a back-to-back winner. And we have a new regular season champion, NHRA. We want to touch on and previewing Gateway this weekend. And there is a track champion at Houston Speedway who was recently on our show.
Yep.
So a lot to go over. Diving right into NASCAR at the Southern 500. Dominant win by Chase Briscoe. However, it wasn't a boring race. There was a lot that happened to it. He was the fastest car all day, took care of the car, did everything he was supposed to do. I think Tyler Reddick had a shot at the end. He kind of tried to make a pass a little bit too early. It was, I think, 5 to go. Tried it a little early. If he waited another lap or two, I think he would have had a lot more momentum. Shoot, and freaking Eric Jones, John Hunter Nemechek out of freaking nowhere and have top five finishes, third and fourth place. That's insane. Eric Jones, not so much, but John Hunter right behind him on his tail. So Legacy's starting to get its groove going, and Darlington, they just have a way with it. But Chase Briscoe comes away. He's the first locked into the round of 12.
Yeah. Outside of Chase Briscoe stinking up the whole entire race, the from second on back, the racing was pretty good. Chase Briscoe was just in a league of his own. And that's one of the issues you have on a track where it wears out the stuff. You get someone that nails the setup just perfect and their stuff don't wear out as quick, it turns into an ugly show. Truex has done races like that where he's led the whole damn thing. Coincidentally, same car. But right now, Chase Briscoe has been freaking fast every week.
The
It's quite impressive. That they really got their stuff rolling along.
Well, the person I picked to win the Southern 500, Denny Hamlin, I think he would have been in contention to win that race, but a pit road error on the pit crew pretty much costed the win and the solid finish, and just wasn't able to really come back from that. But 2311, with all of their lawsuit and allegations and all that crazy stuff off the track going on, they come away with really good finishes there. Toyota looked really fast in that race. The top four were all Toyotas. So they have something going at Darlington. They've won a lot of the most recent Southern 500s. Chase Briscoe, obviously, back-to-back Southern 500s. So, I mean, they just understand it. And Chase Briscoe uses the notes from Denny Hamlin, who's probably one of the best at conserving tires and taking care of a car. I mean, I don't even know if Chase even had a Darlington stripe on his car. He had a
I
very
think it was
clean
pretty
race.
clean.
It was, and
But
it's impressive. Darlington is not an easy track to do all that.
but
And
surprisingly, how bad the Hendricks cars all
they
finished.
really were. They were specifically Larson was top five all day long. In that
Yeah.
last run, they something just failed, and they just all fell back. I don't think any of them got a top 10.
No, I don't think so. I think they all finished like 15th on the
Bowman had a
grid.
bunch of issues go on, so he's in a
And he was
must-win.
right there with the rest of them. So he had a whole bunch of issues early and came back.
And
Yeah,
he's
he was the most impressive of the Hendricks, fighting back from those early problems he had and, getting a respectable finish. But yeah, Larson for running top five ended up 19th.
yeah,
That's
um,
pitiful.
yeah. It was just weird. It's uncharacteristic of that team to really miss on the setups throughout the race. Really, all four of them, but specifically Cliff Daniels, who's really good traditionally at working on the car, working with the track, and getting it good to the very end. I don't know what happened. Um, But truck race, surprise, surprise, I believe Corey Heim won, and surprise,
Mm.
surprise in Xfinity, Connor Zilisch won again.
Yeah, on a road
So,
course.
which there
Shocking.
was a lot of madness that happened on that, people cutting the course, and Zilisch was one of them, cut the course, had a server penalty, still ended up winning. It wasn't even fair. Um, but now Xfinity starts the playoffs as well, and everybody's in the playoffs. Uh, this next race, let's just preview Gateway. It's a lot different than the the previous race we just had at um at Darlington. Completely different track, very flat. Similar. I would say, to as similar as
Yeah,
you can get to
well, World
Phoenix.
Worldwide Technology Speedway or
It's
whatever.
Gateway. Sorry.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know Worldwide Technology is a sponsor, but it's
which is funny. I mean, I guess it's just on the other side of the river. You think it should be St. Louis, but it's actually in Madison, Illinois.
yeah, it's rated by, but Gateway I think works because there's the arch that's right there. It works.
Yeah, like I said, it's on the other side of the river.
And the the track, like I said, the track is going to be similar if you're going to have any setup getting prepared for the championship race, which is the last championship race at Phoenix, at least for the foreseeable future. This was the one to really try to nail setup. This is a great one for Chase Briscoe to start throwing some things on, testing some things. He might as well. He's already locked in
Yeah.
the next round.
Well, the funny thing is the track's shaped very much like Darlington. Now it doesn't race like Darlington, of course,
No, it's
but it's
shaped
got
like
the
it,
one tight corner and then a bigger sweeping corner.
which I think it will fare as a pretty good Uh,
Yeah, it's flat
roughly
like
parallels
Phoenix.
with, yeah, I think you got it. I mean, it's give or take the same size as Phoenix. The flatter
Yeah,
turns similar
mile and a
to three and
quarter.
four, or to one and two. Phoenix is the old, think of the old Phoenix. So this is where you can start testing some things, try some things out, especially if you're Chase Briscoe, even Kyle Larson, who got a lot of stage points and really put himself in a good position to move on to the next round too. Um, but I think Gateway can be a fun track. It's been kind of a snoozer in this car. It's kind of been
Yeah.
a set of manufacturers that have been really good there. Randomly, Kyle Busch is very good at this track. I don't know what it is. Who actually just had a top 10 finish at Darlington at finishing in eighth. So maybe things are slightly
Yeah,
turning around
I
for
think
him.
you're going to see Toyotas fast again this week.
Well, I'm not going to give away just yet of the fantasy, which actually we're about to transition to. Um, Big shout out to real quick before fantasy. Caleb Costner once again got to race at Darlington, gets the opportunity in the truck series. Didn't get the finish that they wanted. A lot of people crashed. He was involved in one of the crashes, but learning a lot and obviously getting track time. That's what makes you better. And it's just really
Oh
cool to
yeah.
see a small local guy get opportunities like that because, I saw him on the grid walk on his own Facebook. He was recording. He's like, I've never thought I'd be racing at Darlington. He's like, I'm doing the grid walk
Oh,
right now.
that's
He's like,
awesome.
yeah, he's like, it's pretty awesome and humbling to see. So that was really cool. But let's move on into Gateway. NASCAR Fantasy heading into Gateway. So apparently there's not a playoff standings when it goes into NASCAR Fantasy. It just resets the drivers, which is fine with me because I'm cool with it because I'm starting to pull
Yeah,
away
I'm
from
already
everyone.
mathematically eliminated.
Domination is what we're calling it now.
What's that?
I said it's domination is what we are calling it
Pretty
now.
much. You whipped us bad.
Now we'll see what happens this week. This one's a little bit trickier to get the right people that you want. So, NASCAR fantasy lineup heading into Gateway. I went first last week. I'll let you do the honors going first this week.
Okay, so anybody playing along, do not pick these because they're probably going to suck. So my starters, I have Tyler Reddick, Chase Briscoe, Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott, Ross Chastain, and in my garage, I have Carson Hocevar. So feature matchups this week, we have Joey Logano versus Denny Hamlin. I do have Denny Hamlin on that one. Christopher Bell versus Austin Cindric. I have Christopher Bell. Chase Briscoe versus Alex Bowman. As bad as the Hendricks are, you got to go with Chase Briscoe on this one. And Bubba Wallace versus Chase Elliott. I actually have Bubba Wallace on this one.
Well, we are really different on this one, and this is actually good. So it's either going to be a hit or miss, and someone's either
Oh,
going to,
mine's a miss,
well,
guaranteed.
some way someone's going to extend their lead significantly, or you're able to pull in. So my starting lineup for Gateway, World Wide Technology, whatever you want to call it. I think this is heavy on Fords. I think Fords will perform very well, specifically Penske. So my starting lineup, I have Ryan Blaney, Joey Logano, Austin Cindric. So literally all of them. Carson Hocevar might be a sleeper in this one, which is a sleeper on the NASCAR
Yeah.
fantasy site. And I do have Chase Elliott in my starting lineup. If all else fails in my garage, I do have Christopher Bell. All right, the feature matchups: Joey Logano versus Denny Hamlin. I have Joey Logano. Christopher Bell versus Austin Cindric. I'm picking Cindric. Chase Briscoe versus Bowman. This is where we agree. I have Chase Briscoe. Bowman just hasn't done well. It's just
No.
bad luck's found him. And Bubba Wallace versus Chase Elliott. I have Chase Elliott in this one.
Okay. Yeah,
So
we're
the hot
quite
picks they
different.
have this week randomly is Kyle Busch, but he does race pretty well there, and he's coming off a pretty good finish. So you maybe look out for him. I wouldn't bet him to win, but might have a solid finish. Hot picks Joey Logano was nowhere to be seen, but this is his type of track that he's really good at getting solid finishes at. It says avoid Bubba Wallace, maybe traditionally, but Bubba Wallace is having his
He's been
career year.
running good every week,
Yeah,
everywhere. So it's
it
hard not
says,
to.
and it does say avoid Alex Bowman. I would, I just he's just not, it's not been fast, and he just
Yeah.
hasn't had the
I'd
luck.
avoid
And
all
it's
Hendrick cars right now.
yeah, and the sleeper is Carson Hocevar, and that's why I've got him in the lineup. I think he will have just a random solid finish at this one.
If he could put a whole race together, he'll be fast and then usually ends up pissing somebody off and then
Yeah.
gets into some kind of a skirmish.
All right, so let's pick the winners at World Wide Technology. So go ahead with who you're picking to win the race.
Okay. He came up just short last week. Like I said, I think Toyota's going to be fast. I got Tyler Reddick getting his first win of the season.
Who did mom pick?
Mom, oh, she picked Logano.
Well, my pick this week, as I said, I think Fords are going to be fast. So we'll see who's right about that. That means Chevy's going to do well. Y'all might want to bet on Chevy. But I have Ryan Blaney winning at Worldwide Technology. All right, just to sum up a couple things before we finish off the episode. The well, I need to bring back the games. I'm trying to figure out which games will be fun to play
Okay.
right now. We'll get into that.
I'm terrible at them too. So
Well, it's okay. There's more opinionated games anyways. But in NHRA, Tony Stewart was crowned the regular season champion, which I don't think anybody saw coming to win the championship. We expected him to do well this year, and he's overperformed anybody's expectations.
and got beat
And
on a whole shot in the finals for the U.S. Nationals.
yeah, was that
That
the
car was
final?
good all day.
And that was that the final regular season race then?
Yes. So the first round of the countdown or whatever they call it is at Maple Grove next weekend.
Okay. Well, I mean, look out for Tony. He's got the points. He's
Yeah. So
got a
Tony's regular season champion, Austin Prock, funny car, Dallas Glenn in Pro Stock, and surprise Gage Herrera in Pro Stock motorcycle.
we'll see what happens in the playoffs or post it, whatever they call the countdown.
Yeah.
Um, anything can happen. It'll be interesting to see.
Oh, and interesting in the Pro Stock motorcycle final, Gage Herrera wins on a whole shot. Actually, against his teammate who was quite a bit faster, just took a
It's
nap
terrible
on
on
the
the
starting
start.
line. It was,
Yeah.
for a motorcycle getting an 040 light when Gage Herrera was like a
Oh,
10.
yeah.
I mean, it was over when it started. That was
Well, we'll see how that plays out. Definitely pulling for
what
Tony on
Erica
that one.
Enders picked up her first win of the
That's
season.
crazy that it took this long for her to get that.
Yes.
Let's talk about the new track champion at Houston Speedway. So, as everybody knows, our last guest, who we actually had wrong, he's the second youngest winner of the
Yeah, by
Knoxville
a couple
Nationals.
months.
Yeah, that goes back to 1964. So the modern era of sprint car racing, he's the youngest. Let's at least give him that one. But Flying Ryan Timms wins the track championship at Houston Speedway. He had to go in and pretty much get a win to really solidify that he was
Yeah.
going to win
I
the
was watching. It
championship.
was pretty exciting. You think of him, he wins Knoxville, big, fast half mile, and goes to Houston, it's a little quarter mile, and was good. I mean, top, bottom, he was fast
Well, he wins that championship, and this kid's
by
doing it.
five
He just turned.
points.
He's doing it at 19 years old. He's
Yeah.
I mean that's pretty crazy. He's already doing that. And Houston's is not an easy track to do it.
No.
It's a fast little bull ring track, and everything comes at you fast, so you have to be ready. And he got a top five. Did he get fifth or
Six.
sixth?
Logan Schuchart nipped him at the line.
Still a solid finish against the
Yeah.
Outlaws. I mean, 19 years old, you're running that well against the Outlaws at a not an easy track. I'm not saying
Yeah.
any of these tracks are easy, but
You know what?
Houston's
I
definitely
wouldn't
easy.
mind going to that track. That looks like
I
an
really
easy
like.
race.
I'd like to go to the Houston Tie Bank Nationals that they do.
That'd be pretty cool.
The 4 day, the ones like their Knoxville Nationals
Yeah.
essentially. That one would be really cool to see. But I think that really does it for this week.
But just Ryan Timms news, he is heading to Port Royal and he is bringing his t-shirt trailer. I just saw a post from him earlier today. So
Yep.
his
Yep. And he
Knoxville
could
National shirts are badass. I might have to order one of them.
and he confirmed it on the show. So if you guys haven't seen that, make sure you go check out the Ryan Timms interview from our
Yeah.
last show.
What a super nice, level-headed
Very
young race
humble.
driver.
You would never guess he's 19 years old.
No,
Besides when you look
other
at
than
him,
he
he
looks like
looks
he's
young.
12.
Yeah, I mean that's traditionally what sprint car racers look like. But very well spoken. He already has the PR side of things down in sprint car racing. So don't be surprised before long. I know he said he loves being on his team now. Don't be surprised if somebody slaps some big sponsors on him and gets them going into a national touring series. He's just too
It's
good.
very possible.
And hopefully, and what I hope is he would get to race with that team. That's what I would like to see, and
Yeah,
they
that
all
would be
get the
nice. I
opportunity.
think that would be fitting the way he's very loyal to the team and very appreciative of everything they do for him. So that's
Yep,
awesome. Awesome to see that he knows where he came from and things like that. That's nice to see how he's programmed that way.
yep. Well, that wraps it up this week, everyone. So, like I said, make sure you share it, like, subscribe, go check out that interview from last week with Ryan Timms. Definitely awesome stuff to see there. We'll see how it goes at NASCAR Gateway this week. If you guys are sports betting stuff, I guess kind of tail what I'm doing and fade what Ed's doing because that just seems to be the way of things right now. Uh, and we'll see you guys in another week.
All right, bye everybody.